Good news, everyone. I have returned. And we're doing another Zezona, because I can. Without any further ado, let's do this. As you make your way into the building, you see the professor. Not really expecting Professor Wolfbane to be there, you're a bit shocked, but eventually he explains why he's here. Oh, hello. As I'm sure you know, the gym leaders here are normal type, but there's probably much you don't know. As this is your first gym, I'll explain a few things to you. Much like a lot of other gyms in this world, the gyms in Zezona have pre-challenges you have to do before you can actually challenge the gym leaders. While they do vary per gym, there should be something available to tell you what the puzzle actually is. I'll help you out in this instance. The puzzle here is a rhythm puzzle. Good luck on your first gym, young trainer. With that, the professor walks out of the building, leaving you to your own judgment. True to the professor's word, there are 3 rooms before you reach the gym leaders. In each room, there is a different rhythm game. The first one being the instrumentals, which you just have to press the button at the right time for. Next up is the background vocals, which, similarly, you have to time a button press for. Then, finally, when you enter the final room, it becomes the main vocals, which are a little trickier, as you yourself have to balance sliders to make sure that it actually fits. All 3 combined, making a small clip of a song. The door, recognizing that the correct clip has been played, allows you into the main room. Upon entering, you see a stage with the curtains drawn and a small crowd around what appears to be a walkway. The walkway you are currently walking down to get to the stage. Then, as the curtains are pulled open, you see 3 trainers standing there ready for you. With the power pulsing through our souls, and with the passion burning in our hearts, the stage is set for a mind-blowing battle! After the 3 have finished, multiple lights flash around the area as a song plays heavily in the background. As mentioned in the first episode, Pokémon battles in Zezona are more often than not treated as spectacles or movies or festivals or plays. Very rarely are they casual. When the battle starts, this group of 3 that make up the gym leaders here are clearly based on the Angels of Delusion, an idol group within Zenless Zone 0. And there is 3 of them, but unlike the Unova siblings, you don't choose to battle one or the other. You battle all 3. You do a triple battle. And as you send out your 3 Pokemon, so do the 3 opposing you. Now, the pink one on the left, which is based on Aria, sends out a mon you're already familiar with, Raxkull. The girl with the light green hair, the one based on Suna, sends out a Bun Plush, though the lead singer, based on Nangong, sends out a mon you are not familiar with. The evolution of Raxkull, Raxscallion, which is a play on raccoon and rapscallion. Rapscallion being an old word for, well, basically a no-good doer. And remember what Raxkull is based on, which is Kama, Yuzuha's raccoon, and Yuzuha herself, which is a bit of a prankster. Meaning that Raxscallion here, living up to what the other 2 are, is a little bit of a tricky prankster. It's now Long Tail being used to either Mission Impossible its way down to steal stuff, or just latch onto stuff or hit something from a distance. Raccoons are versatile and adaptive, so having Raxscallion here be able to do some tricky stuff kinda just checks out. Raxscallion, the Trickster Pokemon. A normal dark type, Raxscallion will often use their long tails as tripwires, tricking someone into following them just so they can make them fall flat on their face. Thankfully, since this is your first gym battle, Aria and Suna don't attack you. They only have utility moves available, like Growl, Leer, and Charm. Not anything super powerful, but definitely able to make an impact if you're not careful. Plus, with Raxscallion having a ×4 weakness, it's not exactly super powerful. After you defeat those 3, yes, if you defeat one of the 3 but not all of the 3, they will wait before throwing in their next Pokemon. Meaning you have to defeat all 3 before you can move on to the next ones. Because yes, each of the 3 have 2 Mons. so you do have 3 more left to beat. All 3 then send out their next Pokemon, and funnily enough, all 3 of them have the same one, only they all have different forms of the same one. All 3 send out a version of Cosprawn, and while all 3 do have the primary typing of water, one of the 3 forms does have a secondary normal type. As the name Cosprawn suggests, it is a prawn, which is basically something akin to a shrimp, that does cosplay. And I know the idea is kind of stupid, but I got the idea from how, like, you detail a shrimp. And I know technically that's, like, it reminded me of, like, removing pieces of, like, dolls and replacing them with different stuff. Like, oh, I don't like this dress, I'll take it off, put a different one on it. Or, oh, I don't like this accessory, I'll just change it. And as for why I chose a prawn, well, I just explained it, but also the name Cosprawn was just a little too good to pass up for me. And obviously, like the group here, it's based on the Angel of Delusion. And you obtain these 3 Cosprawn through different methods. The first Cosprawn, the water normal one, being the one you can just find in the grass. It's the most common, it's the most normal looking, and it's the one held by Suna. Then the second Cosprawn, which is a little rare because you can only experience it when surfing, is Aria's version of Cosprawn, which is more robotic, and as such is a water steel type. Still weak to fighting, so... Then the final Cosprawn, which is also the rarest Cosprawn, is the one based off of Nangong, and you can only encounter it by fishing it up, with this Cosprawn being Water Fairy. Much like the 3 before, it's only Nangong's Cosprawn that's actually going to try and damage you. Though Suna's Cosprawn, as well as Aria's, have a little more gusto than they did previously. Both Suna and Aria's Cosprons have Helping Hand, to boost Nangong's power. Nangong's Cosprawn at this stage only has Disarming Voice and Water Gun, but that's not to be underestimated. Aria's has Helping Hand and Metal Sound, which will lower your defense by 2 stages. Granted, Nangong's Cosprawn is running special attacks, not physical, but it also does have Tackle, so be wary. Though Suna's Cosprawn has both Helping Hand and Aqua Ring, meaning it can heal itself. It is a bit difficult for a first gym, but given that there's not a whole lot of synergy between the last 3, at least right now, because it's your first gym, it shouldn't be too difficult. Don't worry, there will be a point at the end of the series where we go over rematches, and trust me, it'll be a lot more difficult then. But how things basically go with these Cosprons, Nangong's Cosprawn has good speed and special attack, Aria's Cosprawn has better HP, defense, and special defense, and then Suna's Cosprawn has good physical attack and speed. So while the only one you can get on your team at this point is a Cosprawn is the Suna version of Cosprawn, a speedy, physical, water normal type isn't bad. Cosprawn, the cosplay Pokemon, type changing by form. Water normal for the walking variant, Water Steel for the surfing variant, and Water Fairy for the fishing variant. Cosprawn are widely valued by the people of Zezona. Due to them being somewhat customizable depending on who they idolize, Cosprawn is often seen as a quite fun children's gift. After you successfully defeat all 3 of the Cosprons in front of you, the show will wind down and the curtain will close with just you 4 behind it. Now, closed off from the crowd, the lead singer will come up to you and hand you a badge. Specifically, the music badge. Look, I know our gym's a little unconventional, but you handled it well. Gotta give you props where it's due. The other 2 offering you a bit of encouragement and then sending you on your way. Your team, being understandably a bit beat up, goes right back to the Poké Center again. With your team now fully healed up again, you decide to start making your way out of the city. Though as you're about to leave, you're suddenly stopped, not by anyone in particular, just by the fact that a random girl is just standing at the edge of the town, not really caring and just blankly staring out. Trying to understand the situation, you walk up behind them and tap them on the shoulder, said person turning to look at you and then shrugging their shoulders. Look, I was told not to let anyone else in the area. Then, as you try to go around her to continue your journey, curious on what she meant, you're suddenly stopped by the same girl sending out a Pokémon. I told you I couldn't let you through, and that's where we're gonna end for today. Anyway, this is Jay, signing away, forever and always. Bye-bye.